Hey everyone, Josh Mabe, NASCAR Minute. We got John Roberts. JR, you ready?
Yes.
Alright, so how do you get your start in broadcasting?
Pardon me, I'm sorry, Justin. Say again?
How did you get your start in broadcasting?
Well, actually, when I was in college, I volunteered at the student-run radio station, and it just started from there.
So when did you start working with the Speed Channel?
It was 2001. I started working with Fox Sports Net, and Fox Sports Net became Speed Channel the following year.
So originally you were doing NASCAR Victory Lane with Derek Cope, right?
Yes, yeah. Derek Cope, Steve Wade, and Billy Engel were the first group that we did. It was called NASCAR This Morning. That was the pre-race show. And NASCAR Victory Lane was the post-race show. And it was originally meant to be a 20-week handshake agreement. And then we were supposed to go our separate ways. But it was popular enough, and NASCAR was popular enough that we're still doing it here 14 years later.
So how long was that group together?
We were together just for 2 years. And then Derek went back to racing, and Barry Dodson took his place. And then Kenny Wallace joined us in about 2003.
And Kenny Wallace still does the show today?
Yes.
So, when did you start going to the track every week, doing all the NASCAR Live and stuff like that?
2003.
And also I've noticed sometimes, like especially during the last half of the season, you're actually commentating up in the booth for practice and qualifying.
Yes. Yes, I asked my bosses years ago if I could do that, and they were kind enough to let me do that, and I really, really enjoy doing the live events. There's just a sense of urgency to them, and I just really, really enjoyed that part of the job.
I know, so when did you start? When was it when NASCAR Race Day, which was built by the Home Depot at the time, when did that start with Jimmy Spencer and Kenny Wallace?
That again started in 2003 when we started traveling. It was a studio show to begin with, and then they decided that they really wanted to make a spectacle of the racetrack, and they wanted to put a stage out there. And as you've seen, I mean, as everybody's seen over the years, the fans of the racetrack really enjoy coming to the track and standing behind the stage, and just really getting excited before a race, and it just really caught on.
Yeah, I really enjoy the stage because it's just like you have signs there, and like I remember when I went last year, I think, and it was you and Larry McReynolds hosting NASCAR Live, and it was Kentucky, and I saw and I got to make a sign and stuff like that, and it was really cool.
Yeah, it is a very cool spectacle, and it's a very good part of the. I know the track promoters really like the fact that we're there, and they've always liked the fact that the fans can come up and get on TV, and I think the fans have embraced it greatly too.
So when did you start? You there? When did you start? When did Jimmy Spencer join y'all, and you did the Home Depot thing?
That was 2003, and Jimmy was with us probably from 2003 to about 2007, I believe.
So what does Jimmy do now? Is he not doing Fox anymore?
No, Jimmy is not broadcasting anymore, but Jimmy is Jimmy's a really, really good family man, and he just built a brand new house, which is very close to where I'm sitting right now, and he's just spending time with his family, and just really enjoying life the way you should after your career is over. Jimmy had a fantastic driving career. He enjoyed the heck out of doing television with us, and we really enjoyed having him around. But he decided he wanted to spend more time with his family, and that's what he's doing right now. And I see him every once in a while. Certainly not enough. But Jimmy's doing what Jimmy wants to do, and I love that fact.
So he's not doing Race Hub anymore with the crying towel and stuff like that? Because that was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Yeah, it was really funny. But no, he's not, because the Race Hub has taken a different look these days, because there's not as much airtime fun for us because it became an all-sports network. Before we had an all-motorsports network. Now it's an all-sports network. So we have to share time with the other sports. So we have to make sure, that when we're on the air, we cover the stuff that's very important. And you have to be smarter and better with the time you have for NASCAR, because now we're sharing time with the rest of the sports.
So when did like a couple years ago, I remember you moved to a different stage, a bigger stage.
Yes, we had a smaller stage up until probably I want to say that happened in about 2010. I'm getting old these days, Josh. I can't remember the years as much as I used to, but I'd say it's probably about 3 or 4 years ago that we changed to a different stage.
And when did Speed start? Because like when I went down and saw y'all on the stage, it was still Speed Channel, but it had the Fox Sports logo instead. Like when did Fox Sports start taking over the name equity and getting rid of the Speed stuff?
Yeah, it was August 17th of last year that we launched Fox Sports 1, and I have to say I was very, very honored to I was able to host the second show ever on Speed Channel back in 2003, and I was also very honored to host the first live show on Fox Sports 1, which was from Michigan. It was a NASCAR Live, and it was August 17th, 2013.
So, for NASCAR Race Day, you've done it like for a long time, and it used to be like a 3-hour show at one point, right?
Well, we would do 3-hour shows on special occasions. We would do 3-hour shows on All-Star Weekend, Daytona 500 Weekend, and Homestead Miami weekends. But other than that, it would be a 2-hour show.
But like last year, it started turning into a 1-hour show. You added Larry McReynolds, and Kyle Petty was there for a couple years, and it just became like it was a little bit different.
Well, it was different because, again, we went from being a 24-hour-a-day motorsports network to being an all-sports network. So, therefore, there was just not as much airtime to be had. So we had to condense our show, and, really, during the time, we found that it was even better for the race fans because we had to, get to the point quicker. I mean, of course, they wanted more programming, but we just had to go to the better stuff right away and condense it down to an hour format because there were other things. There was NFL, which is very popular. There was the UFC fighting, which is very popular. So we just had to share time. I mean, we had our time as an all motorsports network. But when it switched to an all sports network, we had to condense and just get better in the time we had.
All right, so it was like I think a couple years ago when you brought Larry McReynolds and Kyle Petty on, and when there were now then 4 people at the desk. And
went from 3 to 4 because for a while, we were there where we just had drivers and we didn't have the crew chief's point of view. And there were questions that would come up throughout the course of the show that you would want the crew chief to have done. And there's no better crew chief in this world to go to than Larry McReynolds. Nobody comes to a television show more prepared and with more knowledge than Larry. Nobody spends more time in the garage area than Larry. And he was just a real advantage for us to have on the set, and also a real pleasure to work with.
And then you had Darrell Waltrip on for some of those for the race day, right?
Yeah, we've had Darrell on with us when Kyle's not available, and that's just been absolutely fantastic because you can't. I mean, when you get a Hall of Famer and a 3-time champion to sit in for you. I mean, of course we miss Kyle because we love him, but if we lose Kyle to the Turner shows, we get Darrell as a sub, and so I always say, it's always fantastic to it's a great front office move to give up Kyle and get Darrell and not have to give up Bruce Gretham.
that brings me to another show that I used to always watch. This was when I first started, or I've always been a NASCAR fan, but the first show I ever watched on Speed Channel was NASCAR Smarts.
Yes. I remember old NASCAR Smarts. That was a blast to do. That was a really, really fun show to do.
And you had Kyle Petty and Rutledge Wood, and sometimes you had to give up the hair gel.
Yes, there was a lot of hair gel on that show.
So did you think up all the questions for that show, or who thought of all those questions?
No, our producer, Emma Barnett, did the questions, and she did a fantastic job with it. She was a great producer on that show. Emma is fantastic. She's still with us. But you know, Josh, what happens is, you know, there's shows that we like, and there's shows that we don't like personally. But a television network has to look at shows and say, the shows that people watch, we're going to keep doing. The shows that people don't watch, we have to stop doing because we have to sell commercials. We have to have eyes on our product. And so therefore, sometimes, you know, there will be a small group of people that really loves a certain show. Well, that show will go away because there's only a small group of people that love it. We have to keep doing the shows that people watch.
Yeah.
And we have to not do the shows that people don't watch. And unfortunately, as many people that love NASCAR Smarts, there just weren't enough of them to sustain the show. So that's why it went away.
So now you you were last saw you working at Daytona for this year. Are you going to be doing the same thing you did last year, or what's your role for this year?
I have to tell you very honestly, I really still don't know. I'm going to go to some racetracks. I'm going to do some stuff in the studio, but it is changing because we're a brand new network. Fox Sports 1 is a brand new network, and when you start a new network, and what a lot of NASCAR fans are forgetting right now is that when we started Speed, we experimented with certain different shows, and again, I got to go back to, we continued the shows that people watched. We discontinued the shows that people weren't watching. So now we have this brand new network, Fox Sports 1. We have to start looking at the shows that people watch and continue them, and we have to discontinue the shows that people don't watch. So as far as my role goes, I completely trust our management at Fox. They're going to figure out who's watching what, and they'll tell me when the time is right as to what I'm actually really going to do for the rest of the year. But they have supported me like crazy over the last 13 years, so I trust them, and I will I'll see what happens through the rest of this year, but just really, really happy to have a job and really happy to be doing these shows.
So you're not leaving Fox, are you?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right, because I noticed you want they're kind of changing up NASCAR race day, and you're not really on it much anymore for some reason.
Yes, well that's a business decision. They have guys at the track that can do these shows, and I feel very confident in the ability of those guys to do these shows. And my role has changed, and like the great old wrestlers used to say, know your role and do your job. So that's my role, is to be back here in the studio in Charlotte and do my job. I hope someday to do race day again, but don't know if that's going to happen or not. If it does, great. If not, I'm just happy to be part of Fox.
Because I think it was Kenny Wallace who said on Twitter that you all would be taking back over race day once the Fox portion of the season ended.
That is the plan as of now. That is the plan as of now, is that when the Fox broadcasts go away, that we'll do a studio race day show. But again, they're telling us that's the plan as of now. We don't know, because they're going to adjust. They're smart people. We have smart people running our network.
Yeah.
And again, very smart people running our network. So that's the plan as of now, but the plans change as to what viewers want. We want to cater to the viewers because the viewers are our customers. So you do what they like, and we'll make plans, but we'll adjust down the road as to what they
So is the Fox Sports stage, is the stage gone completely for now?
As of right now, yes, but we do not know about the future.
So do you still have the stage, or did they get rid of it?
Oh no, stage's still there. Yeah, stage's still there.
All right. So going into, are you like, then I'm just wondering, like, after the Fox portion's over, I know the TNT guys come in and they normally broadcast from the Speed or the Fox Sports 1. You have the TNT guys do the practice and qualifying shows on there.
Yes, to a certain extent. Practice and qualifying shows are always up in the air depending on programming. ESPN, during the ESPN part of the season, they pick since they have the race, they get the first choice as to what practice and qualifying shows they want to air. And of course, then we have to look at them too, and our guys have to look at, okay, what else do we have at that point? Because Fox right now, as of right now, Fox is the largest holder of sports broadcast rights in the world. They have more broadcast rights on more different sports than anybody else. Okay. So they're looking at their networks. They have Fox, they have Fox Sports 1, they have Fox Sports 2. And they have all these properties that they have to put there, so they have to look on any given day. You have to look like, okay, say Friday. I have a soccer game that a lot of people are interested in. That game is going to trump, a nationwide practice session. It's just simple economics. It's just simple business. And so they're going to look at that, and when it's appropriate and when it's right, they will accept the nationwide and cup qualifying practice shows that they can fit in. So again, it's a group of people in Los Angeles that we trust, and they're very smart, and they're gonna broadcast what people are gonna watch.
So when do you think you'll be going to any more races this year?
Yes, I'm going to Bristol and I'm going to California. Other than that, I probably won't go to any more races, but I will go to Bristol, California. First two races.
So do you know what you're going to be doing there? You're going to be doing NASCAR Live, or what are you going to be doing there?
Going to be doing nationwide qualifying and nationwide practice qualifying.
So do you all plan out, like, how do y'all decide, like, who's going to be doing what, like, the different combinations of people in the broadcast booth and people on the stage and stuff like that?
That's up to the bosses. Yeah, up to our bosses.
All right. So I hope that so I'm just thinking that if y'all later in the year when ESPN has stuff, obviously ESPN's not going to air a lot of the stuff. So do you think that Fox would normally pick up whatever ESPN doesn't?
I cannot speak fully, for them on that subject, but I know that they, on any given Friday or Saturday, if there are those shows available, and ESPN does not want them, chances are Fox will pick them up, whether it be on Fox Sports 1 or Fox Sports 2. Because if you look at it, Josh, you got two sports networks, 24 hours a day. Put them together, and you have 48 hours of programming per day. What better to fill up those programming holes, though, than with nationwide or cup practice or qualifying? Those are products that people will watch, that people are interested in watching. They're very valuable products. So I would, trust our guys to pick the ones that are, that are right and that people will watch. And I would say yes, if ESPN does not want them, that our guys will most likely pick them up and broadcast them.
So for you, what was your favorite part? Do you like it better when you're doing shows like in the studio, or do you like it when you're on the stage, or do you like it when you're up in the broadcast booth?
Love them all. Love them all. Everything is great because I used to work for a living. I used to mow grass for a living, and this is just not work. Anything I can do, I absolutely love, man. It is absolutely fantastic. Whether it's the booth, the stage, or the studio, we work with absolutely great people on all venues, and I'll take any of them, honestly. I'm not just blowing smoke.
So, a lot of the things that are you all still going to be involved next year, or is Fox just going to be doing just the Fox portion?
Oh, no. Fox has invested $4.8 billion in NASCAR over the next 10 years. We will be completely involved in everything, every aspect of the sport for the foreseeable future. There's no way to, again, our management is too smart to invest that amount of money and not be involved in every aspect of it. It's probably going to be more than ever. And anybody that listens to wherever you put this on, they need to understand that since Speed went away and Fox Sports 1 got on the air, Fox Sports 1 has broadcast more NASCAR programs than Speed ever did on several different occasions. People will tell us, they say, okay, when Speed went away, our NASCAR coverage went away, and that's just absolutely not true whatsoever. The first day of Fox Sports 1, we had 8 hours of live NASCAR coverage. November 17th of last year, November 14th of last year. August 17th. November 17th was the last day of the season. August 14th of last season, when Fox Sports 1 took over the network from Speed, there was 8 hours of live programming from Michigan International Speedway, and we never really have had that on Speed. So it's a misconception for people to say there's less NASCAR on Fox Sports 1 than there was on Speed, because it's just simply not right.
So a lot of people, I've asked a question on Twitter, and and asking them, what do you like? What are your opinions about Fox Sports 1? And the thing that a lot of people keep saying is that Fox is pushing a lot of stuff over to Fox Sports 2, which a lot of people don't have. But I think that's necessary as a broadcaster in general. I just think that that's necessary because Fox Sports 1 is the bigger network than Fox Sports 2.
People look very close about it. They have to look closer before they say that. I think that's coming from emotion and not reality. If you really look at what goes on Fox Sports 2, Fox Sports 2 is mostly re-airs of NASCAR stuff. The original airing of most of the NASCAR stuff, and when I say most, I mean 80 to 90%. The original airing of most NASCAR stuff on Fox Sports goes on Fox Sports 1, not Fox Sports 2. It's mostly re-airs on Fox Sports 2. So before people complain about that, they need to look at it, and they need to really figure out what the reality is. And the reality is that it's that the original airings on Fox Sports 1, which most people get, which is in 90 million households. And most people don't get Fox Sports 2. I understand that. But mostly the stuff that's on Fox Sports 2 is re-airs.
Okay, so my favorite thing that I think you've done was obviously the NASCAR Smarts thing, but I think the beginning of, like, when I went around that year, 2012, I think, a couple years ago, I really liked that season of Race Day. These last couple seasons of Race Day, it's been really fun, and I hope you do Race Day again.
I hope we do too, Josh. I appreciate it, man. Hey, I better run, but hey, thank you for the time, okay?
Thanks. Close out the show for us. Thanks, John.